And welcome everyone again into another video. And in today's video we have some legendary battles from Dr. Toothbrush, DrAbdulrahman. He has both, like Dr. Toothbrush I think is his Twitch name. So he's running a remix team, which is an interesting and solid team. He's running Golbat, Scrafty, and Carbink. And this is like Loki and ABB team. Like, you're kind of weak to fighters in the back, but you have a hard answer to the fighters in the lead. So the team is weak to Carbink in the lead, but if you see a Carbink in the lead, you always go Scrafty and you straight power up punch. You could foul play the second one, but you have to power up punch at least once. So at this point, he's counting. He's making sure that he will throw right before they get to the Moon Blast. Sorry, the music was a bit loud. Okay. Now opponent brought his Scrafty back. So what Dr. Toothbrush is doing is basically tanking the energy on Golbat to get some use out of the Golbat and getting some energy lead. They brought back the Cresselia. This is like tough right now because if they shield, it's not that easy. I would actually, like, since they are, like, here is the thing. Since they are locked in, I would have baited. But again, it's not that big of a deal because he grabbed the shield. Now he went back to Scrafty, which is actually the way to go. And I don't think there is a point of shielding, but it's not a bad idea. Remember, it's not a bad idea. Why? Because the foul play will either get the shield or KO the Cresselia. Cresselia cannot Psycho Cut down anything. He doesn't let them get any farm and insta swap to his Carbink, which is a good play. Now he has to commit to the full farm down because he needs to KO the backline. So let's see. Yes, he needs to KO the Scrafty. So that was actually a nice play by DrAbdulrahman. They brought the Cresselia back, but at this point you can fast move everything down. I think this Carbink is level 44, so technically it required around 60 XL candy, which is not that big of a deal, to be honest. Like, at this point, you know, like how much people like usually put as an investment to hit legend. I think this is like a fair deal, not gonna lie. I would do it every day, all day. 60 XL takes like 100 raids, but I have those just sitting in my account, not doing anything for them. I know like some people value them too much, but I don't. If I need to build something, I will just use them. The value for them is similar to the value of their candy, basically, whenever I need them. So now Carbink, you can get some wins with it, so why not? It's actually a smart investment. So at this point, I think he just, at this point, like I'm like, he needs a Poison Fang, and he did. So that's a good matchup. That's not a bad matchup for Golbat. Like, Golbat is probably the only poison that just doesn't get destroyed by the Carbink. A point about the Vigoroth, but at this point, he doesn't need to shield. All you need to do is just now go Scrafty and punch him, or just go Carbink. Carbink doesn't have a great matchup here, but Scrafty also doesn't mind this. So it's either, like, look at this Bulldoze. It's supposed to be super effective, but it did like, I don't know, 30%. That's such a joke, right? He grabbed the shield and then swapped. That's a smart play, because now you can just tank a Body Slam and whatever they have in the back. Hey, yo, is he playing my team? Oh, I'm guessing he's saving. Yeah, I'm guessing he's saving the Scrafty because I said, if you play against that team, save you Scrafty. Like, the Toxapex is Scrafty, Dragonite, because Scrafty, you can beat the opposing Scrafty or the Vigoroth, and then you can beat the Dragonite with the Scrafty. So if you're playing against that team, hide your Scrafty, because Scrafty can win you the game. Which what he's doing here. Like, if you watch the 2 videos ago, the last video I posted about my battles, it was about the Vigoroth, Toxapex, Shadow Dragonite. So that was actually the way to go, and look at that, he won without even using the last shield. So here, I think they Dr. Abdul played it better than the opponent. Now he's playing Zweilous, and he's using Zweilous. Zweilous is Yonk's brother, and he's one of the best players in the world. So how does he play this matchup? I'm assuming he's just gonna go straight Poison Fang, but I see a Hex, which means it's a Jellicent in the back. So at this point, this is actually good for the Scrafty since they are debuffed. So he throw on for, which is the ideal time. You're gonna throw on for 147 because the foul play is gonna do so much damage. And now Zwilus is going straight Surf. Why did he shield? Because technically he wants to get this Scrafty lower. He's throwing on 2. Why? Because if he throw more, it's going to be a bit worse. So I don't mind shielding here, but be aware, if you shield, he might snipe with the Zwilus. So no shield is a good play. And now he's going to shield the Surf here, but at this point he can overfarm. And then look at this. This is a nice catch by Dr. Abdul. He's actually aware. He was like aware and he expected the swap, so he insta-swapped. So that's a good play on his end. And look at him now farming down. Like Carbink just wall everything about his wireless. Like there's nothing that this wireless can hit the Carbink wing. Like if it's a Hydreigon has a flash cannon, which almost one shot. He threw in CMP here, but it's not a bad idea because I think they are around 2 serves, so throwing here makes some sense. And it's a Blastoise in the back, so he has the Moon Blast, and now I think you dip and Shadow Ball, which he did. Why he's using the non-Shadow? I think the non-Shadow, the Shadow has a worse matchup against Vigoroth, and the non-Shadow just destroys everything about all the fighters, and including Vigoroth and Double. So that's the reason, I think. He's playing NetDrag. He's playing basically like all the good players on the leaderboard, and this is a horrible lead. And we don't have any. We're ABA weak to this, so technically he has to stay in. So now let's see how this guy is getting played. He landed the Shadow Ball. That's actually good. Now he doesn't. This thing is not as big of a problem. They are a Mud Shot, so now he's going for the poison thing, and it's a CMP, so this is technically the best case scenario for him. This matchup can't get even better than this, landing a Shadow Ball and getting a poison fang. Since they swap, okay, this thing has Aqua Tail, which hit for super effective, but Carbink can tank 2 of them easily, so I'm assuming he's gonna farm all the way down. Remember, it's 6 seconds and then 5.5. They were able to get to this. I don't think he can afford shielding at this point, but how is he going to play the Ufisk? Now that's the problem. I like the bait here. I don't think you can afford going straight nuke. They shielded. Now he swaps. That's actually ended up being the phenomenal play. Like you bait, you swap, they have a Dragonite. At this point you can shield this Crafty. Yep, I agree with this. Now just go straight Power Up Punch. Okay, or you just go this, but if they no shield, you might end up throwing the game, but he doesn't. So, okay, let's see now. Oh, they ended charged a bit, and they are at 4. They have the move now, so this is tough for him. I mean that ended charge was like phenomenal by NoDrag. I mean NoDrag is one of the best players. Like he's a solid player, so he's not gonna give you that easy of a fight, right? Golbat into Dragonite. This is not a comfortable matchup. Also, it's not a bad matchup because Dragonite is not going to be able to afford no shielding because Dragonite just takes so much damage. I like shielding once here. I mean, you're not going to shield it twice, but if the Dragonite decide to overfarm, it's a good matchup. But I'm assuming they just want to farm all the way down. But now look at this. He's gonna go Carbink and now shield, and since the opponent is insta-through, that means it's a Dragon Claw, so you don't have to shield. Opponent swapped out to the Vigoroth. I'm assuming he's gonna no shield and go straight for the foul play. They are at 3, so they need 2 for the body slam, so they might not be able to get it. Now they have a double, so committing for the big move is actually the play. And at this point, Carbink, I think, can finish this game. So that was a good play by Dr. Abdul. I think there was something on the opponent should not go for double shielding farming down. You don't want to go early down a shield. I played Dragonite like so many games, and I've always said this: do not go down shields early in the game if you're using Dragonite. Also, you need to shield the Dragonite always twice, so you always want to catch. Be aware of that. That's the main thing when I use Dragonite. Opponent swapped to Ufisk, and we swapped to the only answer for the Ufisk that we have. I'm assuming it might end up being double Mud Boys in the back, but Ufisk is more scary to Carbink than any other Mud Boy. So, no shield. There is no point of shielding there, to be honest. So here's the thing. If you're throwing foul play, if you need a foul play and a power-up punch, you power-up punch first. But some people will always shield your second move if you throw power-up punch than foul play. So it's safer to do the opposite. But see, that's why you throw power-up punch first. I like the team. The team is actually decent. I might give it a try, to be honest. It's actually decent. So since this boosted, so it does like 40%. Yeah, that's like around 45 with the move. And now opponent swap to the A slash. So what's gonna happen at this point? I think you're just gonna pray that they don't have. I just know. I think no shielding is the play here, even if it's an ice punch, and then you swap because that's the play. I mean, they are debuffed, so it's not as tough of a matchup now for the Carbink. Like, it's actually playable now. You don't shield this. That's actually smart. You can shield now if you want. Now should you shield a Dragonite? This ended up being like a best case scenario. They swap to the Buzzwole at this point, but Buzzwole, remember, does not resist rock moves. So everything here is a neutral. And since he's counting, he knows that he can throw both of them before the Buzzwole is able to throw a charge move. And at this point, Carbink taking out a fighter and a steel Pokemon. That's how busted this Pokemon is. Now moving to the next one, and we have a Mantine. I don't think Golbat wins this lead just because Mantine is too bulky. But if you can land this Shadow Ball, there is a different case then. He landed the Shadow Ball. Now they are at 50% HP. Now if they have Ice Beam, it's tough. We shielded the Bubble Beam, so it's not as comfortable of a matchup. That's why I hate playing against Mantine. They landed the Ice Beam, but Golbat is able to get to the Shadow Ball. So Golbat, look how... Oh boy, this is tough now. Because the Vigoroth is going to be able to outspam the Scrafty. So what I would play is I would go this Carbine, tank a move, and then go back to Scrafty. So let's see how he's going to play. Maybe he's going to get a shield first and then swap out. But again, you can't swap out until they throw a move. So make sure that they don't have that much. Shielding here isn't a bad idea if you're counting and if it's a bulldoze. Throwing a rock move here. I mean, here's the thing. If they don't shield, you can just counter all the way down after. So now it's going to come to the one that throw their move. I think it's a tough matchup at this point, but Scrafty might end up just losing to the fast move damage because Power Punch doesn't do any damage, right? Yeah. Opponent overfarmed because they want to shield farm down, but now they will end up losing because... Oh, opponent throw one CMP? That's weird. And now it's going to come to the fast move damage. Okay. I think you live one Power Punch. And it's a simple KO. And that was a tie. That was a nice game, not gonna lie. He's playing Carlos. Let's see what Carlos is using. Golbat as well. A fellow Golbat spammer or enjoyer. I don't know what you guys say. So how do you play this? Well, you need to land the Shadow Ball and you need to make them shield the Poison Fang. So he called the Poison Fang and now he's baiting back with the Poison Fang. So let's see. He got the shield. So this is amazing for him at this point. Sleep reminded. Nobody's gonna go to bed, okay? He's at 2963. Please, alarm, stop sending sleep reminders. His dopamine is like 200% nowadays at this point. He just won 3 games and he's on a tie. So he's close to legend. That's funny. Like, oh, it's supposed to go sleep. No, I want to hit legend first. Okay, they have Vigoroth. At this point, I like this play. I've never been a fan of throwing power-up punches. If you guys know, I spam Scrafty all the time, and I don't throw power-up punch that much, which is always actually the play. Because if they no shield a power-up punch, Scrafty might end up needing to shield. If you throw a foul play and they don't shield, you can counter down at that point. Because power-up punch is just a waste of energy. It's good in Medi because Medi doesn't have that much damage. Okay, so that was a nice win. And now, is this the... I think I have the sets running... Okay, 1 second. Oh, this is battle number 9. Okay. Double lead. If they have Wild Charge, it's a tough matchup. If they don't, it's a fine matchup. So, since the double kick is double resisted... Oh my. Yo, that Dragonite. Do not safe swap a Dragonite. I think I've said this a million times. Never safe swap a Dragonite, guys. Don't, please. What if they have a Carbink? What if they have any rock Pokemon? What if they have a fairy Pokemon? You're just risking throwing the game for no reason. Be more patient. If the opponent is more patient, if the opponent stayed in the lead and threw another wild charge and sacked the double wall, it would have been a different case for the opponent. But Dr. Abdul doesn't mind this, and he is now gonna take this game because at this point, like, remember, opponent sacked Dragonite from full HP, which means that Pokemon did nothing. So it's tough to come back from that play. What's gonna happen now? There is a Scrafty that's full HP. There's a Carbink that will do 2 fast moves to clap this. And I think there is one more battle. So moving into the next one, and we have Escavalier. This is a horrible matchup for the Escavalier. They swap into Confusion Crest. Bro, who runs Confusion Crest? So usually if you see it's a Confusion Crest, you can just blind swap to this Crafty, but why don't you chip it first? So he knows that he's gonna shield regardless, so getting that chip was actually nice, because look at this, he's counting and he threw right before Crest getting to the Moonblast. They shielded, now he can just shield back. It's a Moonblast, so that was a good shield. So is he committing to the full farm down? Well, they are close to getting to a Grass Knot, so why not throwing a charge move here and just make them no shield? Now, this matchup, Scrafty against Escavalier is not a bad matchup for Scrafty, by the way. If Scrafty has a power-up punch, if you throw it early, your counter does the same. So their counter technically won't be as super effective because it's non-stab, while your counter is boosted and it's a neutral. They have a Jellicent, so I agree with this play. Why? Because you're gonna... Oh my, that's the dream play. You're making them shielding a Poison Fang. Okay, let's go. Now Carbink is going to throw a Rock Slide, but until then, is the Carbink gonna be able to survive enough? Let's see. That was 4, so that was an ideal timing. Okay, let's see if the opponent swap. I mean, there is no point of them swapping to clear the debuff, because it's just gonna, everything's getting fast moved down with this small Pokemon and this Carbink, proving that it was worth all the investment, all the dust, and all the rare XL candy. Because imagine spending this rare XL candy on a Metagross and you ended up not climbing that much. Would it be worth it? But now imagine you spend them on Carbink and you are at 2963. You went 4-0-1 for an tie, and then you hit Legend. So congrats, Dr. Toothbrush. Very well deserved, not gonna lie. These were like some amazing battles. Timing was phenomenal. Most of the plays were like actually on point. Baiting was like always on point as well. So thank you so much for sending me these battles, and congrats on hitting Legend. And that was a very well worth investment, my friend. If you like these videos, please leave a like, to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And if you're interested in your battles getting featured on this channel, I will be leaving a link down below. So feel free to fill the form, and you could choose whether you want to feature your team or getting coached, but like by me, like just showcasing your gameplay. And yeah, you could choose one of the options below. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for watching. This is the end of the video, and see you in the next one. Peace.